Okay, so this is just an establishing shot so you can kind of get an idea of what this area looks like. For perspective, the space elevator is way over there. Our big steel factory is right there. And then if you go out into the desert and come around the corner, you've got another ocean out here and a whole bunch of oil. So you can sort of see there's an oil node there, oil node there, oil node there, oil node there. Unlike the previous oil node where we just tapped one, this time we're going to tap all four, build power, and build supercomputers. So why supercomputers here? So you can tell there's a few nodes here. We can't tap that one yet, I don't think, but let's take a look at the map because I've been running a few radar towers here. So you can sort of see with the radar towers, they tell you everything that's in the area. So I put one there, and one here. Reason I did that is because I wanted maximum coverage, just kind of make sure that Coffee Stain didn't move things around. And they did move things around a little bit, but not enough to really change my plan. So of course we got oil, which is important, but we also need copper, probably need iron, probably need deuterium. I wouldn't mind having coal and sulfur because that allows us to make turbo fuel, and the byproduct that we'll be making with the heavy oiled residue. We'll be making plastic, but remember that the other piece that produces that heavy oil residue, we can turn that into turbo fuel, which is huge. Basically what we did in the other one, except now we've got a normal, a pure, and another normal. So this one node right there is going to enable us to build a power station as large as the one that we have right up here. Remember that we're just tapping one there. So back down here, we have oil, which is good. There's a ton of bauxite over here, which I wasn't expecting, and they're pure nodes. So we might be able to build another aluminum factory over here, but what we're really interested in is right here. A deuterium node that's pure, two pure or impure copper nodes, but there is a pure one right here. We do have iron if we need it. We've got sulfur right there, and we've got two pure coal nodes right here. So if I build this base, I'm kind of thinking of doing it almost like clamshells or like those funguses that grow on fungi that grow on the side of trees that kind of stick out like dinner plates. I was thinking of kind of doing a dinner plate thing, sort of wrapping over each other, going across here. So all of the power in the plastic would be produced out here and then shipped over here to this big base that's going to run along here, that's going to make all of the electronic parts. So circuit boards, high-speed connectors, AI limiters. There's one other I think I'm forgetting in that loop, but that is the idea. And with that long intro, let's get this. So I realized in the last one that I didn't really do a whole bunch of work in progress. So I figured I'd show a little bit of the work in progress before I actually start slapping down all of the machines. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, kind of a Calatrava-esque layout here. I'll get a little bit higher on this. So lots of curves, kind of making it a flat space. To give you an idea, the amount of area on these platforms is more than what existed in the steel base. So there is quite a lot of room here to spread out in. Even so, supercomputers have a very large production range. So yeah, most of the stuff that I can produce offsite, like cat wire and copper wire and that sort of stuff, I'll build at the source and then pipe that in here. It will be factories dedicated specifically to this larger factory. So the copper wire that I'm produced won't be going to serve a general storage for copper wire. It'll be coming directly here to build this thing. And same thing with all the plastic that I'll be building out here. I can't remember if I need rubber for supercomputers. So probably the next thing I'll do is what I usually do is start by building the thing that's at the top of the production schedule. So let's show you that. So normally what I would do if I had remembered to put motors out there is I would build this, which reminds me I do need to build one of those dimensional storage things for motors, because that would alleviate a lot of time running back and forth between places. But I would build the manufacturer and then look at the manufacturer and see what it takes to build. So there is another way that we can do this. So if you build a crafting bench, you can sort of see they'll tell you what resources go into it. See if it actually has the supercomputers right here. So you know we need to build one supercomputer, you need 4 computers, you need 2 AI limiters, you need 3 high-speed connectors, and you need 28 plastic. So you start with that and you say, okay, so what does it take to build a computer? Well, you need 4 circuit boards, 8 cable, and 16 plastic. So you need both plastic for this and for the computer, and you need, let's go up here, and you need plastic for the circuit board itself. So again, you need plastic for the circuit board, you need plastic and the circuit board to make the computer, and you need plastic for the circuit board, the computer, and the supercomputer. You need a lot of plastic, in other words. And so we are going to be way overproducing plastic out here and then shoveling it in on this little line right here. And you can sort of see that I left a bunch of glass on this one so that you could see down and up. But yeah, a ton of plastic goes into making supercomputers, which is why this one will double in putting down, I believe that's a pure node, and I think that one is a pure node, and these 2 are normal, but I will be tapping all of them for this. So this will probably be, on top of producing a ton of plastic, will be producing a ton of power. Like I am going to be building probably out here all of the fuel generators just to make sure that this thing doesn't run low on power. And right now I'm pretty much fine. I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through my power usage, so I'm not hurting, but after I build this thing, I probably will be. So check back in a few. So here's an interesting problem. I was out in the world just kind of building up things for the supercomputer factory, and something kind of unexpected happened. I needed to come back and pick up some plates so that I could run some faster lines, some Alcad plates, and kind of noticed that the power was off, which is a little bit unusual. Now I'm coming down here and everything's showing red bars like that and that and that and that. And I happen to know what the cause is, but this is what I mean by if one thing backs up on this kind of a base, it takes a lot to untangle it. So what you kind of want to do is look at this, and this is kind of our first clue right here, is all of this polymer is backed up. So is the polymer backed up because this is backed up? Nope, that is not a solid purple line. So this is just the polymer. So we're going to follow the polymer line and find out what happened. Because what happened was the polymer line backed up and stopped. You can see it's not moving. It's not moving here. None of this is running. You can see that our power is off right now. That tripped the fuse. Immediately shuts down. This is something that'll take a little bit of work to fix. So what I did was, because I didn't have enough plastic going into the supercomputer factory, I took that polymer resin and had it create plastic to feed into this drone, which I was very proud of going to show you how the drones work and everything. Unfortunately, what I didn't account for is that this would back everything up, or rather I did think about it. I just forgot to build it. So again, I need to build an awesome sink right here. I need to connect it up to power. And again, everything's off. So untangling this is not going to be that easy, but we're going to give it a shot. So I think I'm going to have to rerun this line, but we'll try it. So I'm just going to put a smart splitter. Yeah, it's actually let me put it there. Let's find out. I don't trust that. Let's delete that. Let's run. Oh, switched. Hang on. Run that there. Now we're going to build a smart splitter right here. We're going to tell this, your left input, we want you to do overflow. So if this backs up, we have a place for it to go. So we're going to run this over here. Run that in there. So now the overflow is going to run in there. The problem is our power is off. So now what we need to do is go shut down. Here, I'll show you this. So we look here, our max construction is all of our factories are on, and this is how much power it requires. The black line there is what our production is, and the gray line is our capacity for power. I meant to build some batteries, but I got distracted. Apparently, I built this the night before and said, oh, in the morning I'll build this. And then when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, I gotta go build the supercomputer factory thing, and totally forgot to do this. This is the price of that. But anyway, we've got max construction is way up here at 12,000. I have gone out into the world once I discovered what happened and shut down a bunch of factories, but probably a better way to do it is to just disconnect this factory from the outside world and then shut off various machines until we have one line working and generating power, and then just kind of gradually turning everything on to do it. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like. This is a great example of what I was talking about. Totally unintentional, though. Okay, there. Got it cleaned out. We're running again. Yeah, that was a lot of work. So, yeah, better to just remember what you're doing, take notes, and just, yeah, that probably represented about a day of work to get all of these unstuck. So now I'm going to go back to what I was doing before, which was trying to build up all of the different lines that would eventually build a supercomputer. So, hopefully I don't have to break this into 2 episodes, but supercomputers are a pretty complex one. So, come back in a sec. And here we go. So those 2 manufacturers right there are building supercomputers. So yeah, as you can tell, to make supercomputers efficient takes a lot of infrastructure. So what is going on here? So we have plastic being produced over here, and then I kind of have the residual going off and making fuel, and all of those are, man, I want to say like 24 fuel generators. And to make up for the deficit in plastic, I have a drone port here, which is importing plastic from the other fuel factory on the other side of the map. So to show you where that is, you've got a little drone factory right there, that little tiny one that I had over by my base. Right there is the other one, so you can kind of see that it's being built up. I have this one exporting fuel so that the drones actually have enough power to go places. And here's the other one right here, and you can tell that one's being full up with plastic too, bringing it all over here so that we can make sure that we have enough plastic to build 10 computers a minute so that we can build what is it, 3 supercomputers per minute? Yeah, supercomputers don't build fast. But one of the things I'm going to do here, so let's take a look around here. So a lot of times this is the sort of thing that you would fix with trains or trucks or even drones. Again, I tend to use belts because belts don't use any sort of power or fuel. So it's basically, if you're willing to run the belt for a long distance, you get it for free. So since we are right on the bleeding edge of what our fuel or power can handle, that is kind of where we're stuck. But here I have quick wire being made just over the hill there. And then I have kind of a copper factory down around the corner there that is building copper sheets for the computers, copper sheets for the AI limiters, and cable for both the computers and the high-speed connectors. I think I got that right. But let's come down here. So again, just kind of built this thing like clamshells coming out from the side here. I'm trying to remember if I have anything on this level or if it's just observation. This one's just observation. Let's go down one more level. Can I show you what happens? So these are the high-speed limiters, which are probably the most complex thing in this base other than the supercomputers themselves. But they take quick wire cable and, is that a circuit board? I think circuit boards. So there you can see the, I believe those are AI limiters. Whatever this is going slow. Oh, that's the high-speed connectors. Okay, that figures. But yeah, those guys don't produce very fast, and because of that, the supercomputers will be a bit slow. Let's actually see what the number is. Whoops, I need to pick up a computer. So almost 4 computers a minute. Yeah, doesn't go very fast, but there you can sort of see the computers are being built at this manufacturer, and they're backed up, and that is by design, that the excess resources like the cable and the plastic go to the computers first, because it doesn't matter if the supercomputers are getting those resources. If it's not getting the computers, it can't build the supercomputer. So you want the computers to build first, and then that feeds the supercomputers, and then anything that's in excess here goes through the system to the supercomputer. Let's see. So we'll go over here. So you guys have seen the computer plant before, so I don't really need to show you this one, but it's basically the same setup, just kind of built them across from each other rather than down a line like I did at the other factory. But that is pretty much it for this one. Let's see. I did kind of leave this one spread out, and then I'm going to have the train station right over here. Obviously, I haven't run the train in, but as the supercomputers fill up, which will take weeks, eventually this will start filling up with high-speed connectors, AI limiters, and supercomputers. So you'll get all of your basic software. Oh, there goes a drone. You'll get all of your software needs right here. Circuit boards. Did I bring circuit boards over? I think that's what this is supposed to be, is circuit boards. But it won't start sending those over here until it's completely filled up. But gang, that is supercomputers, and that is one of the more complicated things that we're going to be building for this stage. There is nuclear power coming up, which is kind of complicated. It's logistics, and you've got to make a weird type of frame for it that uses nitrogen gas, I believe, if I remember right. So that'll be a wild setup, but hopefully before we build that, we'll be building nuclear power, because like I said, our power is right on the edge. Let's go ahead and look at it. Yeah, so you can sort of see it's going all over the place, so I kind of need to check and see why that is. That's almost certainly our oil production facility is going up and down. It might even be this one out here. I need to bleed off some of the excess just so that it's producing. I'm not seeing smoke, but it does look like the plastic's coming out pretty fast. We want that coming out fast. But yeah, you can sort of see building supercomputers puts us right on the edge. This is where we're producing right now, but if everything were to produce, we'd be right here on this blue line, which is uncomfortably close. But now I think what I'm going to do is just kind of go back, kind of do a quick pass on all my factories and make sure they're producing efficiently, especially power. And then we'll tackle the next tier. And by then, hopefully we'll have enough supercomputers to unlock the next tier in the, well, not the space elevator, but the next tier in our research. So, that sounds good. Catch you next time. Actually, you know something? I take it back. There is one more thing that I wanted to show you. And show me, since I haven't seen it either. Let's see. Ooh, that thing's big. Yeah, it's about centered. Okay, let's see how this... Whoa. Okay. So, in theory, this will boost our power by a lot. So let's see what it does. I'm curious what the input is. So let's connect. Well, hang on. So right now we're kind of doing this. Our production is 16,746. Oh, look at that big jump right there. Now it's 19. 18, that doesn't... Oh, there it is. The boost power is right there. So I guess it boosts it by about 10%? Oh, there it is. 10%. So stack power is 500 megawatts. Does give us a little bit more breathing room, so that's nice. Curious what this input is. Huh. Now you can see me next time.